Marcel, you have the floor.
What was it? Catherine up there wrote something saying those soulless junkyard crush them all or something like that. That
clankers.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's not even an argument. What are we talking about? I think we already decided it with the dial, with that clanker dial that is not even, I don't even know what it is. Anyway, they don't have a soul. I challenge either of you or anybody in chat to tell me otherwise, and I want proof. I want proof.
I brought you some proof, Marcel.
No, you didn't.
All right, his name's Skippy, and he is my proof. All right, I sent the link in our chat. Not our chat, but in Facebook's chat that we have.
Okay.
So let me start this by defining what I believe you're thinking of as a soul. My search came up: the spiritual or immaterial part of a human being or animal regarded as immortal. Now, in Star Wars lore, your soul is the force energy within you. As you're connected to the greater universe through the immortal force within you. And I'm going to, the first argument is Skippy the Jedi droid. This is an 8-page comic featured by Peter David, Star Wars Tales #1. And in it, there's a lot of things happen, but Skippy uses the Force to remove his restraining bolt, and
he uses the Force. Somebody in the chat, Luke Carrington, saying droids can't use the Force. This guy can.
Yep. Yeah. And then he force persuades Grimorian guards to let him leave. Now, this is an official Star Wars Tales #1 comic book, regarded as official. And in it, that droid can commune with the immortal greater force of the galaxy. And that is just one example of how droids can tap into the force and therefore have a soul.
All right, so there's a couple people. I'm gonna play the other side here just for a minute. They're saying this is Legends. This isn't canon anymore. You know what? That's fine. You know what? If you want to take that argument that you believe that droids don't have a soul, you cannot claim anything in Legends. Nothing. If you don't
Everything
claim
Boba Fett did doesn't count.
Doesn't count. None of it. All the Thrawn stuff, Darth Plagueis, you got to throw it all away. You got to throw everything. If you don't accept
Thrawn?
Skippy, you don't accept Mara Jade. You don't accept any of that. All right? So
the Uzambong War.
Yeah. All right? I'm just saying. No Skippy, no Mara Jade. No Jane Solo. None of that. Okay? No. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't religion. You can't just pick and choose which ones you want to believe
in. Luke says, "Fine, bye, E-wings."
No, they're in a Poe comic. Count it.
Okay, there you
go. All right, that's just one of the many things. I could go on for hours.
Really, can you?
Really? No, but if I stop at my first argument, it seems like I could go on forever. That's my. It really comes down to what you actually think is what you mean by.
What do you define as a soul?
Yeah, are you imagining? Well, like I said, we're gonna keep this Star Wars term to keep this out of.
Yeah, I think once you keep
religion.
No, I know. I never was gonna take it there. The way that I would define a soul in this argument is: are you going to become a Force ghost? Skippy seems like he might have that ability, so I might be turning a little bit, but no. I'm still gonna say with no. I need to see Skippy in as a Force ghost.
Sure. Kit,
Yeah.
let me take your argument and pick it apart for fun. So you're saying that if Last Jedi, when Luke cut himself off from the Force, he cut himself off from his own soul?
No, I said the race, the creatures have to have the ability to become a Force ghost. So by Obi-Wan becoming a Force ghost, all creatures within Obi-Wan's whatever you call it, race, human, I guess, or humanoid. By that definition, they all have a soul. If one droid has a soul, then droids can have a soul. Doesn't mean all droids do have a soul. Good Lord, what did I start? Because how are we like, okay, because at what point does a droid becoming sentient become beyond sentient and gets a soul? Does K2SO have a soul? He has a personality. Now that's a broken clunker there. Clanker.
Here's another one for you. The AP5 in Rebels is an Imperial droid who, on his own volition, says, "You know what? I'm out. I'm for the Rebels now. I'm good." All right. So
yeah, they did not reprogram him. He just made the calculations that it was better to fight for the Rebels.
At that point, it's mathematics, though. At that point, it's still circuitry. It's not it's circuitry and it's survival. It's not necessarily self-aware, self-consciousness.
So let me deep dive into this. What about you said Force ghosts, because don't want to go too crazy into religions here, so let's stick with the Force analogy. If instead of turning into a Force ghost to gain their immortality, I'm trying to think of like uploading a droid's consciousness to like a cloud. Would that count as it lasting forever? Would what it uploads out of its consciousness count as its soul?
It would count as his memory banks. All right, let's actually shift the argument a little bit of
okay.
At what point do you get a soul? Let's assume Skippy.
Oh, you can just give you Skippy. A soul?
Skippy has a soul. I'll give you Skippy.
Skippy gets a soul.
With a soul. I'll give you Skippy. But now, does a clone have a soul?
Oh yeah. See, now you went into some deep questioning there.
I'm saying if some droids have a soul and other ones don't, does that mean that some organic beings have souls and some don't? So if they're manufactured organic, so the clones have souls? Do they achieve and gain soul through experience, through exposure?
So I guess the defining thing for me is it seems like the defining thing between whether you have a soul or not is basically organic or not, okay? But if you can manufacture organic material, how is that different from manufacturing inorganic material such as circuitry or such? So I'm basically just asking, in your opinion, does a manufactured organism, do you manufacture a soul for it?
Is OCX propaganda? Is that Luke?
Yeah, OCX pregame show.
I'm reading from far away. It looks like OCX propaganda, which is basically what he's doing, right? Anyway, he said Yoda said clones had souls. Yeah, I never believed what the old man said anyway.
I'm about to throw something up on the screen here.
Uh-oh.
Having some fun with. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's why you see me
so-
plugging away here.
Yeah, so with I think the clones argument is interesting because in even our futuristic world that we live in, we can definitely manufacture biological organisms. But does that mean they have a soul? It's hard to say. There's
There's the Force,
We're
Skippy.
going- for Skippy, no, he died.
He had a soul. You see? Do you see him?
Okay. Oh god. Made me lose my train of thought, Dion. What's going on about oh man. I totally lost my thought now.
He's just floating around. Can we keep him?
Yes.
Well, we can't anymore. He died.
No, I'm saying he needs to be at every show from now on.
Yeah. For Skippy.
More Skippy.
For Skippy. All right. If you want For Skippy always to be here, to have him be a staple of Gold Squadron podcast, please type F to pay respects because he died. Oh, that's great. For Skippy. The new mascot.
I want to know his story now. I want to read the book. You see? Who says you can't change?
T-shirts need to be made.
Yeah, like
How do
Skippy
you
changed my entire belief system. You know?
Skippy brought Marcel to the Force. The people have spoken. Do you see? Do you see? Skippy is my hero.
Bunch of. Dion, obviously you like the idea of Skippy. Has it turned you around? What is your opinion on droids versus souls versus clones?
Sorry, I'm just giggling here at the chat.
Skippy,
Skippy, a Star Wars story. That's great. Oh, you guys are killing me. No, I believe that yes, droids. I would say that they would end up developing a soul, because and I would say that this maybe makes some people who handle droids kind of humane. It's not really humane, but like when you memory wipe a droid, you're resetting it all the way to nothing, to zeros and ones, no development. But you can see with like R2D2, BB-8, C3PO, K2SO, all of them, these droids. I mean, not so much C3PO. He's been wiped quite a bit, but I think K2 and R2D2 are probably the best examples in like popular canon that they have evolved over time because of their experiences and have their own personalities. I mean, and I think that that has developed. I think a soul can be developed by a droid, but every time you do a memory wipe on a droid, you've destroyed its soul.
You killed its soul. What about IG-88s?
Oh, that's a virus.
All right, I think we beat this one to death. Literally, we beat Skippy to death on this one.
You know what though? I think we need to. So, I mean, so the people who are live will find this out. But I mean, I'm currently in the works of planning Star Wars based material, and I think this might have to be one of our video topics. Do droids have souls? Yeah. It's
Oh,
time.
I remembered. I remembered what I was trailing off. I started laughing about. Speaking of old legends, do you remember all those books about how they try to clone Palpatine?
Yeah, the comic books.
When they cloned Palpatine, did he have was he connected to the Force still? Was he still a Force powerful clone? I mean, that was the whole point of cloning him, right?
Yeah, so he can come back. His
Well,
essence transferred though.
Yeah, but those clones weren't walking around doing things. If I remember correctly, they were just. Whoa! Why am I getting big? Yeah, those clones were just sitting there dormant until Palpatine got into them. So no, they didn't.
So they were more host for his soul.
Yeah, they're more like the Altered Carbon in Netflix, where the consciousness goes up into the thing, and then it goes over to the clone, which was just basically at that point an empty vessel.
Okay, interesting. Anyways, that was just my quick thought on that. That they did try to clone Force users, so I think clones would definitely have to have souls as well.
Dion's having fun over there with Skippy.
I am. I think we do. I
I actually literally got a little anxiety when you take them off the board and off the viewable screen.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no, don't lose them. Don't lose them.
Don't lose Skippy.
Come on. Until we can keep them, okay? So when you take them off the board, I'm like, come on, bring them back. I'm getting a little anxiety here when you're taking them off. Don't send them to the light yet. Let them stick around a bit.
If you would buy, okay, so if I would invest the time to design a Skippy the Force Ghost T-shirt, would you buy one? I'll do it.
I would.
I'll do it. So let me know in the chat. Would you get yourself a Skippy the Force Ghost T-shirt? Though anybody who was not watching this show would be so confused. That's why we'd have to release that Do Droids Have Soul video before.